in our field, there was an old pioneer by the name of Jake Hess. He sang in a group back in the 60s. And he said something to me when I first got married that I'll never forget. And it reminded me a little bit about your dinners that you used to have with Eddie Arnold. He gave you wisdom.
Yeah.
But Jake would say, Bill, when the lights are burning brighter on the stage than they are at home, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And in reading your book, first of all, you had some wonderful models in your mother and father, and evidently in your grandparents. So you're blessed.
I am.
A lot of kids don't have those kind of models. But in reading your book, I was telling Gloria, this is about too good to be true. This kid is serious about life. He's serious about what he does.
Sometimes a little too serious.
And and in a world that is the music world can be pretty cynical.
Oh, yeah.
You know. But here's somebody that what you see is what you get, and your wife is important. Your kids are important to you. Which kind of leads to the meat of why this song was attractive to you. Without him, I could do nothing. By the way, it's written by a good friend of mine, Mylon Lefebvre.
Yeah.
In fact, we need to get him on the phone after the interview.
Yeah.
You would love him.
He's become a friend of mine, too.
Oh, you know Mylon?
Yeah.
What a great, great heart.
I came to know him through the book because I had talked about the song in the book, and we had to get, I guess I had quoted some of the lyrics, and we had to get permission.
Yeah.
And so when somebody from the book publisher called his music publisher number, he answered the phone.
Yeah.
And I guess he handles all his publishing.
Is he fun to talk to on the phone?
He is.
I tell you, every time I talk with him, he always leaves me with some scripture that he's read, some inspiring thing about life.
He's got some energy.
Yeah, he's got some energy. So this song became very meaningful to you.
Yeah, I loved the song from the first time I heard it. Like I said, when I was in my quartet, my young men's quartet in church, we sang this song, and so the lyric made an impression on me from the first time I heard it. But at some point, I was like, I want to know, like, what's the story behind this song? And so when I got to looking for it, I found out that Mylon was stationed at Fort Jackson in Columbia, South Carolina. I think he was 17 years old or something. He was in the Army. And so he writes this song by himself. And obviously his family is a gospel group, the Singing Lefebvres. And so they had a gig booked in Memphis. So he hitchhikes from Columbia, South Carolina to Memphis, Tennessee. He's cold, he's wet, he's dirty, he's hungry, he's ornery. He gets there and he tells his mama, he's like, I'm going to the hotel, take a nap, I'm going to shower, get ready. And she said, well, while you're doing that, she said, do you have any new songs or anything that you want to sing tonight? And he said, well, I got one. And so he played it for them, and they, started working on it and everything. And so he comes back for the show, and they go out and they do this song without him. And lo and behold, there's a guy that's also on the show, standing on the side of the stage by the name of Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
And he's listening to this song, and I think he ended up cutting that song like 2 weeks later or something.
Sure.
And Elvis actually let Mylon have the publishing.
Yeah. I've been through that.
Yeah, and it changed his life.
Yeah.
And I think there's been almost 200 people that have cut this song since Elvis did it.
Sure.
And so I fell in love even more with the song after I heard the story, because
Great
it was just
story.
such an incredible story. Once again, it was God's way of getting, that song out there to the masses. And so this is a song that I've sung in church. I've sung this to my boys many, many nights, as I put them down to bed, when they were real small and were babies. And so this song's always, meant something to me.